Hi, I'm Joe Welinske, and I am the program manager for the 2019 version of ConveyUX, Seattle's annual user experience conference. We're going into our 7th year, and I get a chance to talk with our 50-plus speakers before the event. And today I am speaking with Tony Smith. Hello, Tony. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Joe. Great to talk to you.
Well, I am speaking from Blink's offices along the waterfront in downtown Seattle. Where are you at?
I'm in Los Angeles in a small little home office. I'm fortunate enough to have one day to work at home a week. So yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, sorry for catching you on the day at home, but why don't we just start with you talking a little bit about your background and the types of things that you're involved in.
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you what I'm currently doing. I'm currently the product design manager at Hallmark Labs, a pretty recent addition to the team. I've just been here for about 5 months. My background over time started out originally as a graphic designer. Like I think a lot of UX designers coming from visual design and working their way into more formal UX roles. And I worked with General Electric, big global corporation, and got to know that world and work with a human factor psychologist. And that was my first foray into more formal UX and user research. Worked with them for several years, moved out to LA to come out to a new market and try to break in as a designer here. Worked for myself for a while. Worked with some startups, and that got me some experience with smaller companies and kind of wearing all the hats. Eventually made my way back in-house with eHarmony, and that's where I worked my way into design management and learned a lot about leading teams and refining processes and stuff. And then that leads me to my most recent role at Hallmark, also as a product design manager.
Well, it sounds like you've got a great background, and Los Angeles is such an exciting place for UX now. There's so much going on. You probably constantly have new things coming up in your work life. Is there anything in particular that has caught your attention lately?
I mean, yeah, there's always a lot of projects, and especially, which is really interesting with Hallmark. It's over 100-year-old company that is continually adapting and changing and moving into digital, and that's where this Hallmark Labs comes in. And so we're constantly looking at new ways of interpreting, this Hallmark product in digital ways, and some I can't tell you about because they're too new. But I'm working on streaming video for Hallmark, print on demand. I'm working on e-cards and digital greetings, and so it's great to work across a lot of different products, a lot of different experiences.
Well, it's kind of fun thinking about Hallmark having top secret projects that you're involved in.
Right. Yeah. It's like, well, what else can you do with a printed a greeting card, a piece of paper? But they've definitely found ways to innovate, and that's what's great. It's not what I expected when I went in for the interview, but it's what kept me there and wanted me to sign up with the group. There's definitely a lot of creativity and innovative thinking there. So, and especially in this digital space, which it's on the rise, it's expanding for this company. So it's an exciting time to be there.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your topic, which is something that obviously you're constantly involved with for your work life as well. So the title is Adapting Agile Scrum for UX Design Teams. So why don't you talk a little bit about how you came around to that topic, how it relates to what you're doing at Hallmark?
Sure. It really was born out of, I guess, necessity from my last 2 roles, especially as a design group leader. And trying to carve out, as we all say, a seat at the table for design in different environments where design maturity, it was very young. and trying to figure out how do we speak the language of business. How do we make compelling arguments to stakeholders that design is bringing true and significant business value. And so in an effort to do that, one of the things we had to do was start measuring our output a lot more in a lot more detail and translate that to business outcomes. And so that led me to really refining our process so we could provide a little bit more transparency to our internal partners and stakeholders so they knew what we were doing. It was typically felt like, I think for them, throwing a request behind this curtain and then magically designs came out. Well, being able to use some of the structure of Scrum, some of the artifacts and events helped us speak the same language that other team members were used to, PMs, technology. It helped them understand a little bit better the effort that we were putting into it, the tasks that we were completing, and the value of those tasks. So it really helped us from, I guess, a UX strategy standpoint with credibility, transparency, and visibility, and becoming more of a partner for the business than simply, just executing on requests.
Well, we're happy to have that Agile topic in the program, and we actually have a few topics related to that since it's such a high interest area. So we're happy to have you involved, and looking forward to your presentation at the conference when we come around to March.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for inviting me. I've heard a lot of great things about the conference. I'm as eager to learn from other speakers as to share my perspective, and I hope I'm able to offer a little bit unique perspective and insight that can help the attendees.
All right, great. Well, thanks for taking the time, Tony. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Thank you.